Hello everybody, you may remember this Chamaecyparis, I can never say this name, Chamaecyparis. Let me see if I can focus in on the label, maybe you can read it for yourself. Yeah, Chamaecyparis. And just to remind you, I got this reduced to £4.99, so it's obtusa teddy bear, and I decided it might be interesting to make it a literati. So I'm going to try and get it into this cut down 15 litre pot today. I already worked on it last time and reduced the root ball quite significantly. Had some issues when I tried to wire some shape into it, and I had it snap just here, which is healed but left a bit of an ugly mark. That'll need to be dealt with at some point. And obviously haven't done very much with the wiring, with the branching at this point. I'm just going to, or just been letting the tree grow and do its thing. So let's put the camera down and we'll get this out of its pot and we'll see what we can do with these roots. A lot of healthy weed growth going on, so that's a good sign. We have what appears to be a baby cornus just there. I did a video on cornus just recently. You might want to have a look if you haven't already seen it. They do make quite a nice little species for growing as bonsai. So we're nearing the end of May now. So I'm not going to completely bare root this tree, and it doesn't seem to have a huge amount of roots in this pot anyway. See if I can get this little sorbus out and save it. I think we can save that. So yeah, I'm not going to bare root this tree. I'm just going to take some more of this off the roots at the top. Not much of a nabari going on. But I'm surprised there's even less root in here than I thought there would be. Very sticky soil. A couple of roots here. Well, that goes absolutely nowhere. We'll lose those. Another one there going nowhere. Now we have a large root. These bunches that are just sticking up out of the soil and not actually doing anything. So I'll just trim those away. You can get underneath. No much sign of life here either. Not from the wood lice and some slugs. If I didn't know better, you'd say this tree had no roots, but it must have a few. There's a few, and that's better. Now we're beginning to see something, anyway. I think that's probably enough, in that that will allow me to get this root ball down into some bonsai soil. There's a big root there that's just going round and round and round. I'm not going to go mad like I did with the pine, if you've watched that video. I'm going to take it slower with this one. I'm going to, yeah, that's about enough. I'll be able to get that into the pot, get these roots teased out a little bit. Hopefully the tree will then root out into the better soil. Okay, so let's get that to one side. Bring in the pot. As you can see, this was a 15-litre pot. It's actually the bottom part of the pot that I cut the top off for the Scots pine. So yeah, so here we go. I've actually put some guy wires in this time to wire this into the pot because it's very top heavy, as you would expect, and I want it to sit still in this pot and not rock about in the wind. What I haven't brought is my pliers. I've left them in a different part of the garden, so I will nip and get those. So back in 2 seconds. Okay, so back again. I'm just going to tighten this down, make sure the tree doesn't rock around, and then hopefully it can root itself into the bonsai soil. And I'm probably going to leave it in this pot for 2 years, I think. So yeah, certainly 2 years. And then I can go back in and we can remove a proportion of this inner gacky soil, and the roots hopefully will have developed around the outside. We'll be able to have a much better root ball. Going to put in some slow release fertilizer. As you can see, these roots are just sort of going nowhere, some of them, so we'll just snip those away, and hopefully the tree will respond. By giving us a flatter, squarer root ball. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this tree. I'm not going to prune a lot off the top in, what's the word? What is the word? Oh, in balancing the amount of cut off in terms of root. I've cut off very little, so I don't think I'll need to cut off a huge amount. I might trim a little back. Let's see if we can get you looking back up to the tree. tripod. Behave. It doesn't always want to go where I want it to go, when I want it to go there, if you see what I mean. Often it's my knees in the way. Okay, yeah, you should be able to see that. Well, let me reposition. Okay, so here we are at the head of the tree, as it were. We've got a couple of pieces. This, for example, I'm not really going to try. I could try and put a bit more movement into it. So I'm not going to remove this piece, even though technically it's sort of facing backwards and downwards and in towards the trunk. I'm going to leave all of these branches on because I want as many options as possible. As I said earlier, I did have this problem with the tree snapping at this junction, so putting a big bend into it could be problematic, but it's not impossible. But obviously I want the tree to root into this new medium and be growing a bit stronger. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to shorten the branches back, all of them, by about a quarter. Except for these really short ones, obviously. I think I'll leave those be. But I don't want to lose any options. Obviously I'm not going to get any regrowth, or I'm unlikely to get any regrowth on any parts of the tree that I've already stripped of foliage. So in terms of what branches I've got, realistically these are pretty much it. So yeah, so that's it for this tree. I was happy with the movement I got in that part, but then we do have this quite long straight whippy piece down to here where we've got another interesting piece of movement. So it's this section that I will hope to address in coming years, and then we can work on which of these we're going to keep as branches and which we won't. So thank you for watching, and as always, please take care of yourself.